Hello everyone, welcome to EBook. So in this video, we will be saying what is the web accessibility and what is the use of it. So why we use it. So basically, few of the folks asked me on the Instagram. So what is the accessibility? So please do cover some basics of it. So how can we answer the accessibility related questions? So what are the principles of it? So what are the things need to be covered while talking about the accessibility? So if you have experience as a, you can say that the as a senior developer or kind of the lead, or at that time you should know about so what is the accessibility, so why we use it, so from where it comes, and what is the basics of it. So in this video I'll be covering something related to that. So please make sure that you have been subscribed our channel and hit the like button and the notification button so it can spread to other people as well. So let's get started with this video. So, when talking about accessibility, so what is accessibility? So first thing comes to the mind. So what is accessibility? So why we have to care about it? So what are the things comes to the accessibility? So the accessibility is nothing but so the website is a design and developed so in that way. So any people who has disabilities, he has some disabilities. So he should be able to your access your website, so it is not restricted to something related to the people who had some problem with their accessibilities. So the website should be accessible to everyone. Basically this is kind of the one thing, the motto of the accessibility. So we know about accessibility and what is the alternative to it. So e-accessibility also is there. So we will be talking about in depth what are the principles of it, so what are the guidelines of it. So into the next slide. So the people who with the physical disabilities or a situational disability, sometimes what happens, so people has a disability like the way he cannot hear or he has a blindness issue with him. So sometimes if you have the situational disability, so you are using your mouse every time, so something happened to your finger or something, so you are not able to access your mouse such kind of way. So in that case you are not able to access the website. So this is kind of things not comes to the accessibility. So while talking about it, so you should be able to access the website, correct? So for that reason we have to take care something related to the arrow keys, tab, indexation. So all these things come. So with the help of that, you can access your website with the help of the arrow keys only or the tabs as well. So such kind of things comes to the accessibility. So for that reason, we have to be taken care as a developer. This is our duty, we can say, or responsibility to make the website as a way that so any person who has a problem or he has some disabilities or he has some issue with it, so any people can access your website. So another thing, socio-economic restrictions. So I can talk about the bandwidth of the speed. So your website should be load on the lower bandwidth as well. So as right now we are in the era of the 5G, 4G era. So the places where they are not able to access the 5G, 4G website. So there as well, your website should be accessible. So we have to work on that as well. So what is the progressive app we do for the accessibility? So we'll talk about it later. So in that situation as well, so the people who has a less internet access or bandwidth, or they have some problems with the restrictions of the accessing your websites on the, so all things comes into the socio economics restrictions. So we have to be taken care, so it should be accessible to everyone. So we'll move to the next. So who manage it basically? So the internet don't anyone not anyone owns, no one owns internet, basically we can say that. So when talking about the accessibility, so we have W3G. So this is the group and the people who has created a guideline for us. So like the way we have for ES6 features in the JavaScript, we have a team that checks the what is the new features come to the JavaScript. They will release some new version. So according to that, the whatever browsers we have, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, they have to write that code for that, so that new features of the ES6 can be accessible to your browser. So if you have created another thing, new something into the array method, and your browser is not working on that, or your browser having issue with it, so at that time we have to use the polyfills and all. So you might know about so what is the happen with it. So such kind of things here as well. We have this group, so who monitors what are the accessible things we have to be taken care as a guideline. So we have WCG. This is the group basically. So you can see that in the screenshot, they have what are the things covers here. So we can see that. So he has some problem with hand, then he has some eyes, he has some mental issues related to he's not able to. We can say that the access the things as soon as. So he has some hearing problem or talking problem, or he has some disabilities as well. So in that case, these people's has created a guideline for us to in that way. So we will follow those guidelines to make it the website more accessible. So we have too many tools to check your website or working the accessibility related things or not. So we'll see that as well in the later. So we'll move to the next slide. So what are the things comes to the accessibility, and another thing, why should we care about the accessibility basically? So here are some disabilities we have. So because of that we have to think about it, the blindness. So some people who has not able to see the what is the content on website, or he not able to generally see anything, so he should be able to access your website with the help of the screen reader. So we have multiple screen readers over here. So those will we can say that those will render a text, read the text, whatever the text you have written as an alternative, so or the area text, so that it will read and it will show what is the exactly over there. So he can access your website with the navigation bar. So we have the arrows and then tabs. So make sure that you use the proper tab indexation over in the website. So with the help of that, these kind of people can access your website. So low vision. So low vision means nothing but so he is not able to see the colors, we can say in the way we look like the we see the color. So if he has a color blindness kind of thing, so he should be able to access your website. So don't use the harsh color into the website, so make it as a basic, so only 2 3 colors into the website, so it will be look good as good. So in this slide as well, you can see only 2 colors over there, white, 3 colors over, we can say pink, white, and the navy blue. So I try to make it as accessible to anyone can see this website as well. So learning disabilities also over there. So sometimes some people have a problem with their brain, so he's not able to adopt the things as we adopt usually. So those kind of things also. Consecutive disabilities also over there, deafness as well, hearing loss as well, speech disabilities, physical disabilities. So we talked about the physical disability as sometimes as a situational disability, you have something happen to your hand, you are not able to access the mouse, so such kind of things. So speech disability, so he is not able to speak, and that time how he can access your website. So hearing loss and the deafness. So we usually see the subtitles into the YouTube videos. So in this video also you can see the subtitles. So another thing, the that subtitle will help the hearing people now, so those cannot hear anything, so at least they can read that. So because of that they will get context what is going on in this video. So these are some limitations and the disabilities. For that reason we have to take care as a developer, so make it as a website accessible to the everyone. So these are some standards we have for the accessibility: permissible, operable, and understandable, and the robust. So we'll see one by one this now in the next upcoming slide. So first one is a permissible web accessibility. It is refers to the user ability to identify the content and interface elements by using their sense. So we can say that we see sites means we see only things by hearing. So with the help of the screen readers, basically we talked about it, and touch. So they the people who cannot see, they have something related to the touch. So with the help of that he can able to access your website. So I have seen one video, the working for the blind peoples as well, blind peoples only, so they can able to access your website. So these are the things comes to the permissible. So we can say that it should not be restricted to anyone to access. So offer the alternative text. So sometimes you can see that the image tag I have written over here and the alternative text over here. So we are printing here a decorative PNG. Sometimes what happens, due to your internet get disconnected, your image get not load. So on that time, so your alternate text should be loaded over there. So the people who cannot see, at least they will the screen reader will tell that so what exactly here. So image get ignored, but the text will be rendered as a we can say with text can be the reader. so he can able to understand what was the image over there. So if you given that alternative text like that, so here is a decorative image, so it will read as a here is a decorative image. So with the help of that, it will be help the structure the content in the adaptable way. So we have the structure like the HTML, then we have header section, then body section. Inside header we use title, meta tag and all. So make your website as a structurable, so you can access one by one easily. Make the content easy to see, like the way we talked about our color themes. So we should not use a harsh color, so the people who has a problem with their low vision, so they are not restricted to get access your website. So on that time we should use such kind of things. So time-based media is nothing but the we use audio video format things. So for that reason we have to use alternative text as well. So if you are playing some video, so what is the video context over there? So if they have some screen reader over there, so that reading kind of things as well be the as a render as a text, so they don't have been accessible for that person. So time-based media is kind of things related to the audio video. So these are some things related to the permissible web accessibility, so we have to be taken care for that as well. So we'll move to the next slide. So next slide is operable web accessibility. So the we talked about the navigation bar and all. So this is comes to the operable. So the ability of the user to use your controls, buttons and navigation and other necessary interactive elements, which refers to the operability basically. So we have used a breadcrumb or navigation bar or a header in the website. So make the header as a accessible in that way, so everyone can access, so we can easily navigate to the multiple pages and all. So the goal is implementing operability to ensure that the user have the complete control over the platform. So if you are creating the navigation at the header, so make sure that the same kind of things or descriptive links you have been putting into the footer as well. So some people come to the footer and they are not know about how to go the top and now. So in that case, you are able to he can able to access your navigation from the footer as well. So we use the contact us pages, then about us pages over there. So usually we do that. So the provide another thing comes to the provide the functionality of high keyboard and tab. So as we talked about, so the website should be accessible with the help of keyboard and tab. Sometimes, as we talked about the related to mouse, so you can see here. So if the you have problem with your hand or you are not able to access your mouse, in that case, your website should be accessible to the keyboard and tabs. So ample time to engage with your website. So uh, when while talking about the drop down, you have been seeing some drop down comes to the select your age, then it comes to the drop down kind of thing, or select the gender, male, female, or something. So in that case, what happens? So the ample nothing, ample time is nothing but so if that drop down is open and it get automatically closed without seeing the content by the reader. So in that case, it will be missed. So for that reason, we have to use ample time over there. So it can be accessible to the blind people as well. So provide navigation, as we talked about the header section on the navigation. So this is the breadcrumb we can provide. So you are in the profile section and the profile of the user profile, the address and kind. So your navigation would be the profile, address, and the street address, something kind of thing. So it will help you to navigate back to the your so no one has a restriction. So next thing comes as an understandable website, web accessibility. The information and the operation of the user interface must be understandable. So you are writing, you are creating the, we can say that the website, in that you are using some fancy text. So those cannot be read by the normal user as well. So that is not the use. And another thing, the website should be, we have been seeing the translate as a Google Translate. We can transform our website to the English, Hindi, Marathi, then different languages. So these things comes to the understandable. So any one person who suppose I talked only in the Hindi, but I'm not able to read the English. So I can change the from the top, and he can get the website into the into he can get your website into so he can get your website into the Hindi language, so you can able to read whatever the things you wanted to read. So make sure that your able your text is understandable. So for that we use multiple things over there. We have the translate method, and also for that reason we use structure your page and the site logically. So as we discuss about the structure of our website, so it should be in the format. So it won't be the problem with the structure when your internet get suppose sometimes your CSS file get not load. In that case, the your structure get collapsed because the styling is not there. So in that case, your page should be look like at least something which is the matching to the whatever you are looking over there. So it should not be the like the way header is coming at the footer is coming the somewhere in. So such kind of things should not happen. Because of that, we have to use the structure, proper structure for your web page. and and another thing is while talking about the error message, so suppose you are doing some CRUD operation or you are doing something and some exception occurred from the backend side. So in that case, we should not show the exception to the real-time user because he is not able to understand that. So for that reason, we have to create a meaningful error message. Suppose you are not passing the gender and you are clicking on the submit. So at that time, it should show that the gender is required. And another thing, if you are as a front-end developer, we it's our responsibility to make it as a required from the front-end side, so it should not go to the backend. So on that time as well, we should create a meaningful error message, so the blind person, he is not able to see your website right now, so he can uh, he can able to understand that what errors the screen reader is reading over there. So with it, he is able to listen that error, so he can fill that value and submit the next thing. So this is the things comes to the understandable. So the next thing comes as a robust accessibility. So it refers to the web page content that compatible with the variety of the user agents. Like the way we have the browser, associative technologies, and the other meaning the accessible accessing the web. So basically, the earlier we write only the HTML, CSS. Now your HTML comes to the as a only the single root in the React and in the Angular. So whatever the thing you have been written, so it should be the robust, so it should be available everywhere. Suppose you are creating the PWA application for the your current website, so your HTML should be parsed correctly over there as well. So these things comes to the robust. So we have the good example of the Chrome. So every time it asks you to the submit your details while you are using the first time that Chrome. So it would be having the HTML parse as a super agent. So it should not have the problem with it. So we have some accessibility examples. So if you can visit this website, so these have proper accessibility. You can access the whole website with the help of the tab and the index in the arrow keys only. So we have this W3C. This is the main website for our W3C. The most of content I have taken from here only. So this has a good explanation about the W3C and the accessibility is what are the things. So I have not gone in the deep as a developer. So I'll be coming to that part as well in the future videos. So, but if you want to see the how that accessibility works, so you can try to use with the help of only the arrow keys and the tab. So you will get it. So how it exactly happens. So you can try to inspect that, and you can see that the what are the tab index they have set it, what are the area labels over there set it. So in that way, you will be able to see that. So what are the things as a developer you have to be taken care. So whenever you write the new project in the code you will write in the next project. So you think about it as well. So it will help the in the future as well. Suppose sometimes requires the client say that so it should be accessible to everyone. So in that time you will be having some knowledge about it, so you can write in the better way. So second website is the Cram Foundation. We have then Unilever website. So this is the one of the biggest FMCG company. So you can see this is the one. So we'll move to the next slide. So basically, how to check your website accessibility score. So Lighthouse is an open source and automated tool for us. So which is given by the Google. So it's a part of the your developer tool only. So you can visit over there and run the web page as a Lighthouse. So it will create a full report for you. So what is the performance of your website? What are the accessibility features you are missing? Then what is the PWA applications? Then SEO. All are the things it will checks for your website. So I will show you how it get created, and they have some npm methods as well. So with it you can test any website and it will create a report for you. So I will show you in the sometime. So it can help you as well. So you can refer that as well. So we'll move to the lighthouse website. So we'll show that how it works. Okay, so we are on the lighthouse website. So this is the website. So you can see that the Google Chrome .com slow lighthouse overview. So here we have all these things comes as a. So as I was talking about the Google Chrome desktop, so we have this desktop, so we can use a lighthouse. I will show you that how to create it. So analyze the page, it will create your audit report for you. So you can think about it as a optimization where you are lagging and all these things comes to the end. So another thing, so you can use npm install method. So this npm package you can use, and you can paste only the URL over. I will show you this as well how it works, and it will create a detailed report for you. So first we'll go to the lighthouse. Basically, we'll inspect here. We'll go to the network application. So lighthouse. So here is your page, and what are the things you want to get as an audit? So here we have the categories as a performance, accessibility, best practices, COPW. All this comes to the here. So when I click on analyze, it will analyze whole your website, all the website. What are the title, meta tag, performance related things, what you have been used. So you can see that it is loading the gathering the information from your page to compute your score. So you might heard about the progressive web app. So whenever you are using the Facebook app, so even after the internet get disconnected, you have something loaded into the your app, so you can able to access at least that much kind of thing. So this comes to the PWA. So that also one of the critical part right now. So we'll see that once it get created, report get created. Okay, so report is get created now. This is the website, and this is the URL you can see here. And what is the performance of this now? So it will show you what is the performance, what are the issues over here. So this is the accessibility. So it will show you where you are lacking. So you can see that the area hidden through have written, so forcible to descendant. So it will be hidden for the others. You can see this one. So in that way, it will show you what are the things need to be improved as a developer kind of thing, and what are the best practices they have been written over here so to access. So these are the things comes to the end. So and the SEO also the one of the critical part for your website. So these things comes as a lighthouse. So we have multiple tools to check your website. So so that's it for this video. I hope so this will help you in the future interviews. So we'll see in the another video. So so please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button so you will never miss such kind of videos in the future. So thank you for this.